Pierre Poilievre's Conservative Party of Canada has a 7-point lead over the Trudeau Liberals, with Canadians who intend to vote in the next federal election, says new data collected by the non-profit Angus Reid Institute, ARI. Since the 2019 election, the two parties have been locked in what is mostly amounted to a statistical tie in national vote intention, generally driven by the rise and fall the fortunes of the Trudeau government in the moment, rather than momentum for the Conservatives, says ARI in a new report highlighting its survey. Now the opposition party, which last month elected its third leader in as many years, is pulling together a right-of-centre base that includes not only its own supporters, but those who turned out for the People's Party of Canada in the 2021 general election. ARI says 3/4 of Canadians who supported PPC in the last election, a total of 5%, now say they would support Poilievre's CPC. Overall, 3 in 10 Canadians indicated they would vote Liberal, while 1 in 5 would vote for the NDP. ARI asked poll respondents to consider a number of key issues and which of Poilievre or Trudeau would be best to lead Canada. Poilievre garners most of his support in the economic realm. More than 2 in 5, 44%, say Poilievre is best to handle the federal deficit, while 28% prefer Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, says ARI. In setting economic policy and reducing the cost of living, Poilievre holds a similar but smaller advantage. And while Trudeau cedes ground on economic issues, he is viewed as more capable on 2 of the country's top 3 issues: healthcare and climate change. The divisions between which leader would be best on each issue are political. Though in the minority overall, there are more past NDP and Liberal voters willing to believe Poilievre would be better suited to handle financial issues, including the economy generally, 12% Liberal, 14% NDP, the federal deficit, 15%, 19%, and cost of living, 11%, 12%, then issues relating to health care, unity, the social safety net, or Canada's international reputation. Though they are minority opinions, past CPC voters are slightly more likely to give Trudeau the nod on climate change, 13%, and Canada's social safety net, 11%, than on other issues, says ARI. Those who voted Bloc Québécois in last year's election are more likely to hand the federal deficit to Poilievre, and are divided on the economy overall and cost of living. There is a gender divide in terms of the personal appeal of Poilievre and Trudeau. Women are far more likely to approve of Trudeau's performance, 47% versus 32%. When asked about Poilievre, 45% of men view him favorably, compared to just 26% of women, says ARI. This extends to vote intention. The CPC is the top choice among all male age groups and no female age groups. Women younger than 35 prefer the NDP, while those older than 34 prefer the Liberals. 3 in 5, 60%, Canadians select inflation as a top issue of personal concern. Approaching half, 45%, say so of health care. Those 2 issues vastly outpace other challenges facing the country, such as climate change, selected by 28%, housing affordability, 27%, and the economy more generally, 21%. Those numbers remain similar to the summer, when 3 in 5, 63%, said cost of living was a top concern. Half, 52%, said health care, 3 in 10, 31%, chose housing affordability, and 1/4, 26%, chose climate change. The top concern among respondents, regardless of political affiliation, is inflation, with more than half of past voters for all 5 main federal parties saying it's the cost of living. Healthcare also ranks highly for past Conservative, Liberal, NDP and Bloc supporters. though Conservatives are less likely to select it as a top issue than the others. Those who voted Liberal, NDP and Bloc last year are more likely than those who voted PPC and CPC to select climate change as a top issue, says Avi. Meanwhile, at least 2 in 5 PPC, 41%, and CPC, 37%, voters say the deficit is a pressing national concern. There is also much agreement on the top 2 issues facing Canada across age and gender lines. At least half of all age and gender demographics say cost of living is a top concern. While healthcare ranks in the top 2 most selected issues for all except men under the age of 35, says Avi. Men are more likely than women to be personally concerned with the economy, while women are more likely to select climate change and housing affordability. When decided and leaning voters were asked their intentions, 47% of men said they intend to vote CPC if an election were held today. Support for the CPC is lower among women at 28%.